You have to start. No need audio. Apa tu sir? Take. Relax. Ma'am, we will start, ma'am.
Uh, Good afternoon.
Ah,
Am I audible to you, everyone?
yeah,
Hello,
yes.
people. Yes.
Go
All
on.
right. Greetings to one and all. It gives me an immense warmth and great pleasure to grace all of your presence in the interest of organizing committee. It gives me the tremendous contentment to be inviting you amongst the most esteemed personalities who have won a cause in their respective fields. Before we begin this webinar, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the participants and organizing committee for making this event a success. This event would have been impossible without the support of each and everyone present here. This webinar is organized and conducted especially for the students and faculties to gain insight and information that would remain effective in their life, exercise, and career. The topic of today's discussion was chosen keeping in the mind the interest of today's engineering scholars. So today's topic, English in the career of engineering. So engineering in English. Engineering is one of the vast career in the world, and English is being a tool that significantly affects engineering students in academic life. While most of the theories engineers are taught in English, it requires to have good English communication competence. In academic life, engineering students have to deal with the countless English lectures, tutorials, lab projects, reports, and papers. Most engineering professors in various universities are also conducting lectures in English. During the job seeking process, in interviews, group discussion, it is but of crucial importance to achieve mastery in English proficiency. So begin so being an engineering student, it requires to cooperate and communicate with different people from different part of the world. So English communication competence play an important role in academic life and career of engineering students. Well, through this webinar, let's have an insight about impact of English in the engineering career. Also, let's focus on essential aspects to develop the English communicative competence of engineering scholars. The schedule of this webinar includes encouragement, discussion, and clarification with our esteemed delegate. I ensure this seminar will be profitable and fruitful for everyone present here. So to begin this event orderly, now I invite Dr. Lakshman, Assistant Professor Mathematics, Head of the Department of Science and Humanities of SCAD Engineering College, for welcoming the resource person and participants. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all of you. Greetings of peace and harmony. We have got a great opportunity to conduct this webinar with the support from our management SCAD group of institution, Cheranma Devi, Tamil Nadu, India. I welcome all management dignitaries with a magnanimous heart. I welcome all members, management members of the SCAD group of institutions. Much respect with great honor, I welcome our beloved principal, Dr. Sundarajan sir, SCAD College of Engineering Technology, for this very informative webinar, international webinar. On behalf of everyone belonging to this institution, I welcome our chief guest, resource person, Dr. Maureen Shyamala Rajaman. Dr. Maureen Shyamala Rajaman is an educator in the government sector and has been teaching for 26 years till now. Having renowned doctorate degree in English, Dr. Maureen has written many researches in online journals and presented many papers upon imitations in India. And the more thing is she's also a poet and has passion to impart knowledge through her variety of poems, which involves wide range of modes covering fantasy, reality, lifestyle, as well as spirituality. Madam, I would like to hear your spiritual ideology also, madam. Currently, she serves Chanwa National Secondary School, Seremban, which is in Malaysia. Great welcome, madam, and warm welcome.
Thank you.
I welcome all dignitaries, teaching staff, students, and everyone in SCAD College of Engineering Technology. Warm welcome. Let us begin with.
Yeah, can I start now? Can I start now?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. Can I introduce yourself, ma'am?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, just wait, ma'am.
To introduce the resource person, I call upon Dr. Pradeep, Assistant Professor, English of SCAD Engineering and Technology, for introducing the resource person.
It's due the immense pleasure to introduce Mr. Maureen Shyamala Rajan, chief guest of this webinar on English in the career of engineering. Really, I welcome, ma'am. I'm very proud of that.
Mr. Myrin was the external examiner in my PhD. I never met her directly, but she is a good friend to me today through communication technology for past 3 years. It shows her broad-minded nature to share her knowledge and to be friendly with whoever communicated her. She has accepted all my invitation in past 3 years. And now, in spite of her busy schedule, she has accepted to share her knowledge in the webinar. Thank you, ma'am. Even though pandemic without any hesitation, she accepted my request. Dr. Myrin began a teaching career in 1955. She has 26 years experience. She did her PhD in English language at the National University of Malaysia in 2012. She did her Master of Philosophy in English Language of University of Putra, Malaysia in 2005. She did her Master degree in TESOL University in Putra, Malaysia in 2022. She did published in three international journals. Siti Himan Stefa, Marine Shamla Rajamoni 2009. Support from the distance perception of Malaysian students on computer mediated collaborating learning. Turkish Online Journals of Distance Education, October 2009, in ISSN 1302 and 648, volume 10 volumes, numbers and 4, article in 6 in Scopus Index. Presently, she is an educator and government secondary school in Malaysia. Thank you, ma'am, for your gracious presence.
You're welcome. Yes. So can I start now?
Okay, ma'am, start, ma'am. No problem.
Okay, thank you for your introduction. I'm really surprised that you know everything in detail because I didn't give you the details, but I guess that you are very well versed in finding out about me.
Renowned
Anyway.
persons maybe forget everything, ma'am.
Probably, yeah. So can you all see the screen now?
Yeah, right, ma'am.
And yeah. So okay, I'll start. This is it's just
This is my question, ma'am.
yeah.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
today, what I'm going to talk to you is before I speak, I just like to tell everybody here that I am an Indian. I am a pure Indian, and I like to say Malay Vanakkam. Good
Thank you, ma'am.
afternoon
Thank you so much, ma'am.
to everybody. Good afternoon. And actually, I am not very well versed with this technology. You know, we are all getting older, but because of this pandemic, we learn new stuff. And so I have got to go get used to this Google Meet and, you know, Zoom and all. I am imparting here and to show you the importance of English language in engineering and the management. Before that, we start with a video. Just listen to this video, yeah. Okay. So now, before we start, I like to say that something about what English is, how you understand the topic about English. But before I carry on, Can you all switch off put yourself in mute yourself so that there's no disturbance from your handphones and all that, yeah? So can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Please
Yeah,
go ahead.
okay, I'll carry on. So we have to understand a little bit about English first, yeah? So English is actually a language of science, aviation, computers, diplomacy, and tourism. So why I say it's a language of computers, we talk about computers first. It is what we are doing in YouTube, we are even doing in WhatsApp. It's all in English. So it's a language of science, aviation, computers, and diplomacy. And English increases your chances of getting a good job. Okay, so I understand that there are many engineers in the crowd here. So you need a good job in a multinational company within your home country in India. You guys are in India, and for finding work abroad, I am sure that you also like to come to Malaysia. You like to come to America to work. So this is a passport to finding work abroad. All right, and we all understand that language, it is a language of international communication. So international here is a key word for any part of the world. And we talk about the media and the internet. So learning English is very important in socializing and the entertainment. Socializing here means you are communicating. So the word here is communicating. You need to communicate to socialize. So English is very important, and it is a passport to better education, right? Hold on. It's a passport to better education and employment opportunities. So what I'm trying to state here, it's a crucial role, very crucial, that this language, it weaves the world into a single thread. Yeah, I think in Tamil, the thread means nulu. So you need so many nulus in one ball, and that is English. This is a passport for better education, employment or opportunities. Yeah, and it is known by many. It is known by many. I would say 20% global population are speaking it, right? And that is 1.5 billion of people in the world. But did you know that most of those people, they are not native speakers? Okay, like you are, Tamil is the main language in India. So your native speaker of India is Tamil. But here the research says that most of the people, they are not native speakers. So this is very dangerous. You have to know English. Yeah. So the reasons of importance, it is an international common tongue. All right. Let me see this. Okay, why do I say it's an international common tongue? It is because common second language, two people from different countries, okay, let's say India and Mexico, you can use English as a medium to communicate, right? You're going to communicate and ask for directions to go somewhere. You need to use English. So you are a person from India and you went to Mexico. You're going to use English as a medium to communicate. You cannot use any other language, right? So this is involving the culture, and I think everyone needs to learn the language in order to get in touch at an international level, because you are in another country. So this is an international level. So speaking English will help you to communicate with people from countries all over the world, not just English-speaking people. We are talking about Mexico here. So that applies whether you're traveling or you're doing business or communicating with others, even on social media. So you're coming to Malaysia. Okay, I hope maybe I can meet you one day you are from India and you're coming to Malaysia, you have to use English and not the Malay language, not even Tamil. All right. So it helps you to communicate with people from elsewhere when you are traveling or business or even on social media. Yeah. Social media, you have to talk, you have to write in English. So this is also communication. Okay. Now, hold on, yeah. So now, communication is also essential for sympathetic relationship in a society, for transformation and thoughts from one place to another. So this is already initiation. Initiation means you start something. When you want to start something, you have to use that language, English language. And it's a response to serve as a feedback. So it's very effective to communicate competently. Yeah, competently. We'll talk about competence later. So communication is interactive by nature. So now, what do you mean by nature? Very naturally, you communicate, right? We know we need to find a way to the market. So naturally, you communicate. So that's why I say by nature. Yeah. Okay, so now before I move on to the next,
Your slide is not available now. Slide is not focused. Show me.
okay. Can you see my slides?
Yeah, ma'am.
You can see my slides?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now, before I go on to the next point, why is it international? Because originally it was developed in England. It was developed in England as one of the Indo-European languages. But through the historical efforts of the British Empire, it was British who took over the language. All right. Now, when we go to history, we talk about British taking over India. British took over Malaysia also. And so that's how English came into existence in our countries. So it was developed as one of the Indo-European languages. And then British Empire, the efforts, it became primary and secondary language to the colonies. And that is in America, Canada, Australia, India, even in Malaysia. Okay, so now what is happening is English is the primary language, not for countries touched by British. It has already spread because of the British imperialism, but also by many business and cultural spheres dominated by those countries. So now British, they put the seed there. They put the seed in India. They put the seed in Malaysia. They put the seed even in Japan. And it has spread. It was spread very rapidly and now dominated by those countries. Yeah. So now we see English speaking population. Before we go further, yeah, we look at the English speaking population. This is what is happening now currently. If you see USA, we have 94.2 English speakers. So total we have is this. And UK, yeah, it's more than 90% already. So it's good. But India, very sadly, is 10%. Very sadly, it's 10%, which is very, very weak. All right. Then you look at Germany, more than 50. I know that they speak the German language, but Bangladesh is even a little higher than India, 18. And Australia, 97. Australia, they speak English with a different dialect. And Thailand is a little bit north from Malaysia, 27. So India and Bangladesh is a little bit on the low side, yeah. So I think we better buck up. India and Bangladesh, we have better buck up to raise the standards a little bit, because Thailand is already 20 plus higher than India and Bangladesh. Yeah. So this is the latest data that I got for you all, and it's dangerously declining. Okay. So what I'm trying to stress here is we have to the English is very important, very, very important. Okay. All right, let's move on. So I'll continue. Why is it important? It's a language of academia. All right. See what happens when I say it's a language of academia is it is dominant, very necessity for people to speak when they enter the workforce. Okay, this is global workforce. You're going, I'm very sure interviews will be held in English. So research from all over the world shows that cross-border businesses communication is most often conducted in English, and many international companies, they expect employees to be fluent in English. So when you go for interview, you have no choice. You go for, to Apple or any big companies like Airbus and all, you have to be very fluent, because the businesses are also conducted in English. We have global companies like Airbus, Daimler, fast retailing, Nokia, Renault, Samsung. Yeah, these are all good companies that conduct, businesses in English. Yeah, like Microsoft and all that. They have mandated here, meaning it is a must. All right. So in 2010, what happened was in Amazon and eBay, they made it compulsory for their 7,000 employees to speak in English. All right. They made it very, very compulsory, must. And in some schools, I'm an educator, in some schools, they are doing this already. They are trying to practice this to make it compulsory for the students to talk in English, to speak in English. Because, we are preparing them for the outside world. Sorry. Yeah. So in countries where it is not official, the syllabus in science and technology are written in English. All right. Now, so in Malaysia, what they started here now is science and mathematics. They have started this a few years ago to have the science and mathematics to be in English. The teachers were struggling, the students were struggling, but as time went by, the English teachers, they said, okay, outside the classroom, talk in English, speak in English. Somehow they managed. I will speak about that later. Yeah. And dominant students only, they study the subjects in English in order to make the materials accessible to international students. Right? So we don't want only students, or even you all the engineering students, just to speak, to pass. We cannot do that. We cannot afford to do that. You have to speak to speak. Yeah? Speak to speak. So this is very important. So it shows the importance of the language. And it's in the marketplace, if it cannot be understood, then you lose out. So learning English can really change your life. It can really change your life. Right? And I also like to stress here that English is very essential. For many countries, the children are taught and learned English as a second language. Like in Malaysia, the first language is Malay. Second language is English. So even in countries where it is not an official language, Malaysia, it is not an official language. In Netherlands or Sweden, we find out that many syllabus in the science and engineering, are written in English. Okay, so it's very important here. I'm talking about Netherlands and Sweden, yeah. So generally, English is thought to be the language of highest education. You know, we are talking about the highest education. Many of the world's top universities are English-speaking schools because English is a dominant language for science and international research. So I understand that engineers, when you go to work and when you are working right now, even when you're in the college, it is all R&D, right? Research and development. So everything R&D is English. So you can find all your studies, given any scientific field, you know, chemical engineering or mechanical engineering, or, you know, any engineer, electrical, electronic, it is all written in English. Yeah. So at the university level, students in many countries, they study most of the subjects in English in order to make the materials more accessible to students. Okay. So you can know already the importance of English. Right. I'd like to continue. So institutions, like I said just now, they choose to use English to teach because it's commonly spoken language and it easily attaining jobs. Yeah. And the participation in interviews, discussion with people about a topic. Okay. People can participate in interviews and discuss with people in a group. So you just imagine if you do not know English and you are in a group interview. Interviews are individuals and groups, yeah. And everybody's talking English and you do not talk English. It'll be a bad point for you, yeah. So you can get a job easily. And so I assure you, you are looked up, you are respected. All right, you are respected. All right, so now let me continue. All right, so when you know English, you gain wisdom by reading online or offline magazines and non-plagiarized essays and all. Yeah, so these are ways to really equip yourself to know about English communication, because when you communicate in English, you portray your wisdom. You portray your wisdom. So most importantly, English is considered, you can communicate well with others and improve your skills. You can show off. Yeah, you can show off or expose your skills before others to impress and motivate them to come up with their English language communication skills. You know, when you go for interviews, you want to show off. You want to show off what you have done. You want to show off your skills, right? So you have to gain wisdom first before you can show off. You cannot just show off without reading or you know, looking at the online magazines and websites and blogs. Yeah. So that is very important here. And your quality, so what you're going to show off is your quality of learning increases when English is used as a medium of instruction. Yeah, your quality. So when you show off, you have to show off something that is good. So your interviewers, they see the quality in you. Yeah. So, okay, let me carry on. All right, now why is it important? We all know very well that the language, English language, is favored by the internet and the press, right? Okay, we know very well. I just want to remind you all that majority of websites, they use English, majority. Okay, if you see a translation, please be careful, because direct translation is not going to be helpful. We have that problem in my school. We have that problem because it doesn't help. In English, we say red dress. But in Malay, when you say a red dress, you are putting it upside down. Yeah. So please be careful. So majority of the websites, they use English. All right. And if you're given an option to translate the site, people usually use English. First, it was Russian. And then when they did research, it claims that 6% of the websites only, but English became a winner when it comes to the internet, with over 50% of the content in that language. So the content of website is in English, more than 50%. And the amount of educational content on the internet is probably even more heavily skewed towards English. The modern world of research and academics favors English. All right. Move on. All right. Sites in other languages, they give you the option to translate the site. Like what I said just now. Russian is 6%, and English is more than 50%. This one you can go and check and see. This is the latest research. Yeah. So educational content is heavily on English dominance, and English is always favored. And primary language. Okay, you see the primary language on the press, like newspaper. What I mean press here is newspapers and videos and journals and books. They have made knowing English indispensable. Okay, they know English, so they read. This is what they are saying. Okay, because it is so dominant in the international communication, anyone has access to more information regarding every subject. So if you can understand English, you will want to go into that website. Everything is accessible in English. So you want to know more. So when you want to know more, English is so demand, and people add to it. People add to the knowledge there, and they add to what is being published in English. They publish more and more and more. Okay, but you have to understand that English. That is why I say English is very important. Yeah. Okay, let me carry on. And this is coding, ICT, what do you call it? Everything is ICT now, since the pandemic came. And when I was told that I have to teach using a Google Classroom and a Google Meet, as how I'm talking to you now, I was very angry, because we are too old to learn new things. Created this, we started learning, and our lockdown in Malaysia here was quite a long time. So the usage of this was also a long time. Even in the church that I go to, the services and the prayers are all in the Zoom, and so we are now living in the world of ICT. Yeah, okay. So we cannot run away from that. And then there is a report by Education First. 565 million people, they use the internet daily. Okay. Every day they use this. And it is an estimated 52% of the world's most visited website, they are displayed in English language. 52% world's most visited websites are displayed in English language. Yeah. So knowing how to read English will allow you to access the billions of pages of information. You can't say I don't understand. I think sometimes we have to make an effort. This is a fact, because knowing how to read English, it only tells you information. Okay, it tells you information. It tells you what you need to know, and you get to see the billions of pages of information. For example, I just got to know that our country is rising up. I've not been keeping in touch about the COVID, but I get to know that the number is rising up, but they are trying to do away with the temperature. When you go to the schools or the supermarkets, they take a temperature. So this morning, I found out that our country, we are trying to do away with the temperature. What's the point? What's the point of looking at your temperature? We see it in your app. There is an app that will trace where you're going. You have to put on the Bluetooth and the location. So do we need that temperature? So they are trying to do a research on that. No need temperature. So they're going to do away with that. I don't know whether it will work or not, but yeah, anyway. So yeah, that's the latest that I read. So all right. So okay, the fourth point here is knowing English. It is useful for international travel. Very useful for international travel. Okay, we all know that very well. Like how I mentioned just now. Okay, having a good understanding of communication, easy to travel because this is a main international common language. It makes you easy to travel around the globe for foreigners, yeah, and it's easy for you to get assistance and help in many parts of the world. You just imagine you're in another country and you say, I want to get bus, and they'll show you the bus stand, right? You don't have to say bus stand, you say bus, right? So it is very helpful. After all, 1 in 5 people, they know or understand at least a little bit of English, like how I said bus. You don't say bus stand or bus station, you just say bus and they will show you, automatically they will show you the station. But this is not true with Malay or with the Chinese or Mandarin, other languages, only in English. Okay? Right. So if you do not use English, yeah, like what I said, 1 in 5 understand at least a bit of English. And it is useful for conferences, competitions, and Olympics. Like what we are having now, Google Meet. I am glad that we have engineering students here. It is very useful. This English language is very useful for conferences, competitions. You all will be going for competitions, I'm very sure, because I understand that India is very, very creative in creating something out of the box when it comes to technology. So when you go for competitions, please be fluent or practice your English language proficiency before you present anything to the judges. Yeah. So everything, all the celebrations and the Olympics are all held in English. Okay. It comes in very handy almost everywhere you go, even for a holiday. Yeah. So even if you're not actively working to improve the understanding of English, you might find it easy to memorize a few phrases before you travel. Memorize. How are you? Or some people say, how do you do? I say, how are you? Some people say, how do you do? So it's good to memorize these few phrases before you travel or you get around. Yeah. Right, let me carry on. So I did some reading for you guys. Reimer, 2007, he quoted in his Australian journal that communication skills are essential. Essential here, very important for an engineer who aspires to carry out his professional practice in the global arena. Okay, all of you are going out there. You're not going to be in India. You're going to go to America. You're going to go to UK. Okay, God willing, you come to Malaysia. Please call me so that I can show you around. But you have to know the language. You have to know the communication skills because it's very important. You have to carry out your professional practices in the global arena. It's global because English itself is global. Yeah. Okay, so here I did some reading as well. Union Finance Minister, Mr. P. Chidambaram, I think this is in India. He asked software graduates to give importance to communication skills in English besides a good technical knowledge. You know, you have technical knowledge, you need communication skills also. They complement each other. You cannot only have one, you have to speak in English. Okay. So, besides having good technical knowledge, you need good communication skills. As premier companies, they look for students with ability to communicate English well. Yeah, okay, I'm saying well, yeah, very well. Okay, so this is what is very important about English. Okay, fifth point here I would like to say is it is essential for international businesses. Very essential. Yeah, hold on, yeah. My point here. Yeah, it's very important for international businesses because you are working in an international sector. Okay, you're going to work in an international sector. We do not know where you're going to be, and I know some of your students here, they'll be saying, no, I will not go very far. I will not go very far. Well, for your information, I also said I will not go very far, but destiny, and it is God's grace that I landed in India in 2015. Is it 2015? And it was a coincidence. My first talk was in Sarataka College in Tirunelveli, where my mother was educated. Okay, I gave a talk to a few students, about 300, 400, and that was my very first trip. Year after that, 2016, I went again. 2017, I went again. 2018 and 19, I went again to give talks like that. I never thought I will do it, but it is all God's grace. You work for it. And we do not expect immediately, but it will come slowly. Then when 2020 came, the COVID took control of the world. All right. So I understand that the world is slowly coming to heal. Omicron and Deltacron and all that, slowly but surely. And I hope that when everything is okay in June, I'll come again to India and see you guys. We will see. But this is essential. English is very essential for international businesses. It's useful when you work in an international sector. And when you move from a local India to an international scale, America or UK, you will go, you will make it. But you have to brush up your English. You will be asked for, you'll be called for. Okay. So if you like an option for your career to move from the local to international in the future, English, bear in mind English, yeah. And if you visit certain offices in a private company or a government company, or even a math or engineering company, you will notice how important English is. Okay. Very, very important. Private company, you're going to a government company or a math or an engineering company, you will know how important it is. Okay. And it is very common for companies to consider staff to be well educated if they are fluent in English speakers or writers or readers. Okay. Very, very common. I am an Indian. I've been educated here in Malaysia from my childhood till I got my degree and my doctorate. One day I went to the US for some project with my students, and I give credit to my mama, my mother's brother. And when I was at the podium, it was Christmas time. When I was at the podium, I was talking to them about Christmas, and somebody went to my mama and told, "Hey, is she a graduate from UK? And I laughed. I'm a graduate from Malaysia. Okay, let me tell you, I came from scratch. I didn't know what a noun was. I didn't know what a verb was. I didn't know how to construct a sentence. And you're not going to believe me, but this is the truth. Right? So I did it. I showed interest. I wanted to know what a verb was. What is a noun? How do you construct? Why is it that you say, I went to the market? Why? Why you can't say, I go to the market? Why? So this is what I did. I tried to learn the structure of sentences, and I eventually became okay. I don't think I'm fluent, but I became okay. All right. And so you can do it. If I can do it, you guys are young, you can do it. So it is very common. Please remember, it's very common for companies to consider staff to be well educated, meaning you have to be well read if they are fluent in English language. Yeah. Okay. This is something interesting. Yeah. It's a language. English is a language of Bollywood. Not Bollywood, Hollywood. Yeah. Why do I say Hollywood? Because we all know that Hollywood in the US is the biggest television and music industry, right? Then we, according to the research that I have done here in UNESCO, languages used in the top 20 most popular films in the 2012. It reveals that there is a clear predominance of English language. That means English has controlled these movies, the top most films. English has controlled it. So that is why they call it the language of Hollywood. Yeah. The top popular films, they chose the top popular film, and it is all in English. All the 20. Okay. And world top films are produced in English. All right. So this one. World top films are produced in English. Yeah. They are produced in English. They are published in English as well. Published and produced. Why I say published is because sometimes you have books in English. Books. All of the movies, it's published in English also. Okay. And world top films are produced in English. TV, sports, and movies, they are a great way, very good way to practice the language and a fun way to learn it. This one, all right? Do you all watch world top films produced in English? Right? So I'm very sure they would have shown it. They are produced in English. They are published in English as well. Published and produced in Malaysia. Why I say published? This is a great way to practice the language. You have books in there and listen. All of the movies. It's a fun way to learn it. Published in English also. Okay. Yeah, and here even publish it in movies. They are a great way, very good way to practice the language and a fun way to learn it. It's quite interesting, when you see, when you read it and you see the thing. So the thing going on, very sure it's the same. They would have shown it in India. In English, they are published in English as well. Published and produced in Malaysia. So this is a great way to practice the language. The importance of English. All of the movies, fun way to learn it. Published in English also. Okay. Yeah. So now you know that English, you have a great access to great wealth and entertainment, and you will be having cultural understanding. Why I say cultural understanding, when you see, because you know the culture of America going on wherever the movie is taken. Wherever the movie is taken, you know. Published in English as well. Published and produced in Malaysia. So it's a great entertainment. You get also well English. So when you speak English, you don't rely on translation. So now you know that English, they have translation. You concentrate well on the entertainment, and you will be having cultural understanding. Why I say cultural understanding, you don't see the word because when you know the culture of America or UK, so wherever the movie is taken, wherever the movie is taken, museum, trip, excursion, historical, they are also ways to get great entertainment. You get also well very good ways to learn. So when you speak English, you don't rely on with the guide. You're going there now to know all English. They have translation. They don't tell you what that is all about and entertainment, and you'll be having cultural understanding. Why I say cultural understanding, you don't see the word because when you know the culture of America or UK, so wherever the movie is taken for what 26 years. I'm just giving you some ideas on how to boost your English. Speak the language informally first. I know of many researchers that have said that when you speak informally, that means outside your classroom, yeah, you learn better than learning the language in the classroom. And if somebody was to laugh at you, it's okay, you're learning. I had this problem when I was trying to learn the first language, and that is the Malay language. I had a problem. So I was so determined and I said, yes, I am going to speak it. So I had Malay friends. And slowly I started reading the book because here in Malaysia, to enter into the college, you need Malay. You need a credit in Malay. All right, you need a credit in Malay. And I worked hard for that. I started speaking, I started reading, and I finally got a credit in my Malay. And I got into my college. Right, this one is materials. Like I said just now, you read materials and understand it, not just read. Okay, I also tell my students, please read. What is it trying to tell you? What is the material trying to tell you? Like I mentioned just now, your website, your journals, your blogs are all in English. Most of it, more than 50%, is in English. So why don't you read it? Read it to boost your English. Okay. Yes, this is very interesting. Watch English movies with the subtitles. To begin with, yeah. To begin with, you watch with subtitles if you're not good. If you're really good, if you think you're good, you're okay, don't have the subtitles. You know, they can change. The TVs nowadays, they'll ask whether you want subtitles or not. Okay, so if you think you're not good, you're weak, have the subtitles. If you're not weak, take off your subtitles and concentrate on the acting and the actor and the actresses, what they are saying, what the plot is, what is the anticlimax, what is the climax, what is the problem that's happening. So the subtitles, if the subtitles are there, you will be distracted by the words. Yeah. Okay. This one is going to be very difficult for you. You make mistakes to learn. I have seen people are laughing and talking. It's not good, you know, to ridicule the language. You make mistakes, you learn from it, but you get someone to correct it for you. In other words, you get lost to get found. When I go to a new place, I will always tell my friend, I must get lost. I must get lost. Don't show me. I must get lost. I'm lost now. Then I can find my way slowly to get to that house. So I get lost to get found. Okay. Okay. This is also very interesting, yeah. Listen and sing some English songs. Okay. Listen and sing some songs. Very interesting, good songs. Today I was telling my teacher, she's going to retire, and I asked her, what are the songs that you like? And she looked at me And she says, why? I said, no, because when you retire in the Google Meet, I'm going to sing a song for you. And she says, okay, I like Carpenters. I said, okay, thank you. You know, Carpenters, the songs are quite encouraging, and she's quite an elderly lady. So I thought, okay, I have to go through, and yeah, I'm going to sing a song for her. So I said, okay, I'll go to Carpenters and I'll sing for you. Yeah. So that is, you listen to the songs, you sing the song. Celine Dion, the famous singer, she speaks not English. She doesn't speak English, but she can sing English songs. Okay, if you want, you can go Google about Celine Dion discussion, right? They are also ways to learn, and very important, very good ways to learn. Write a journal or a blog or an article on engineering topics. But please get someone to read it or correct it. It comes to the third one here, sorry, the fourth one here. You make mistakes to learn, but someone will correct you. So the same thing, someone has to proofread English, America, or wherever the movie. We don't want. Sometimes I tell my school, I'm just giving you some ideas on how I'm in the language department, yeah. I tell the science, speak the language informally first. Before you send any article, any article, innovation or anything, can you please speak? Can you please show it to me first? That means outside your classroom. And I told her, hey, I'm not showing off. You learn better because it's very embarrassing in the classroom when there is even one grammar mistake. And if somebody was to laugh at please get many people to proofread your article. And then you learn. This problem when I was trying to learn the first language, and that is the Malay language. I had a problem. I told them, and they said, "Oh yes, so I appreciate it." And I said, "Yes, Shamla, I really appreciate what you're telling, because it's true. Speak it. You see how important the language is. It is very, very international, and so you have to show off reading the book, but don't show off. Meaning to enter into the college, you need show off your knowledge. You need a credit in Malay in a humble way. We always try to be humble. You need credit in Malay. How to be humble, and I worked hard for that. We try to learn. Speaking, I started reading from others, and I finally make mistakes. Credit in my Malay. We get lost. And I got into my college. Found. Okay, right. And this then is material. Write a message, like I said just now, or a WhatsApp to a friend and get him understand it, not to correct it. I think I also tell my students, please read. What is it trying to tell you?
Yes, sir.
I am glad that he's what is the material trying to tell you. Like I mentioned just now, your website. Actually, I was just teasing him. Your journals, your blogs are all in English. Most of it, more than 50%, timing in English, webinar and all. So get somebody who is very knowledgeable. Read it to correct it, to correct it. Because otherwise you don't learn, and otherwise it's embarrassing for you or your company. Yes, this is very. It is very, very. It's a lot of this kind of things happening in Malaysia. To begin with, you watch with subtitles if you are not sometimes good. If you're really good, if you think you're good, you're okay. Don't say, oh, it must be the teacher. They can change. The TVs nowadays, they'll ask whether you want subtitles or not. It's very embarrassing. So if you think you're not good, you're weak, always get someone to correct it for you. The subtitles. If you're not weak, and then you also have a word goal and concentrate on the acting and know how to use it in context. Actor and one word, one day they are saying. Okay, I give you an example. The plot is. We all know the bear is an animal. What is the climax? What is the problem that's happening? You can say, I saw many bears in the zoo yesterday. That is the bear. It's an animal. You will be distracted by the words. But do you know that the bear can also mean something else? Okay. This one is going to be very difficult for you. The bear means you make mistakes to learn. I cannot bear to see the world in pain with coronavirus. It's not good, so to you see the two differences here. You make mistakes, you learn from it. You have to know this. You get someone to correct it for you. Okay, the bear animal. In other words, and the bear person. You get lost. I saw many bears in the zoo yesterday. When I go to a new place, I cannot bear to see the world in pain with coronavirus. I must get lost. Don't show me. I must get lost. I'm lost now. Then bear, I can see you crying. Find my way slowly. What happened? To get to that house. So you see the difference. So I get lost. So you have a
get
word goal, one day, one word. But you must know how to use it in context. Okay. This is also very interesting, yeah.
Okay.
Listen,
And finally,
you
sing
brush
some
up on your
English
grammar.
songs.
This is very, very important. This is where people make,
Listen and sing some
most
songs.
of the people, they make the mistakes when they print out anything,
Very
when they
interesting.
speak.
Good songs.
Yeah.
Today I was
So I'll
telling
give you an
my,
example. I am
my,
going to the market. You're talking about the future,
teacher,
you know.
She's
I'm going to the market.
You
Retire,
know,
and I
tomorrow
asked her,
or
what are the
later,
songs that
but
you
I'm
like?
going to the
And
market.
She looked at me.
But
And,
when you say I
she
went
says,
to the
"Why?" I
market,
said, no,
it's a
because
past
when you
tense. Yeah?
retire in the
Went.
Google,
You
Meet,
already went.
I'm going to sing a song for you.
And she says, okay, I like
And then
carpenters. I said, okay,
I go
thank
to
you.
the market every day.
Carpenters, the songs are quite encouraging, and she's quite a
So you
elderly
see the
lady.
difference, yeah?
So I thought,
This
okay,
is
I have to go
very,
through
very, very
and,
vital
yeah,
for you
I'm
to
going
know.
to sing a song
The
for
future
her.
tense,
So I said, okay, I'll go to
past
carpenters
tense,
and I'll sing for you.
and the present
Yeah.
tense.
So that is, you listen to the songs, you sing the
Future
song.
tense, I am going to the market
Later,
Celine Dion,
that means it's the future. The famous.
oh, I'm going to the market.
When you
Singer,
say I'm going to the
she
market, means
speaks,
you know it's good. It's the future.
not English.
She doesn't speak
But when you
English,
say I
but
went
she can
to the
sing
market,
English
it's
songs.
already happened.
Okay.
If
If
you
you
want,
want,
you
you
can
can
go
go
Google
Google
about
about
Celine
Celine
Dion.
Dion.
I'm tired, I went.
Right?
They are also ways of
And
learning.
this one,
And
and
it's
very
very
important
important
to
to
the
the
market
market
every day.
So when you
Journal
journal
or a
or a
blog
blog
or
or
an
an
article,
article,
now
you
doing
know
topics.
that
But please get someone to
proofread
read it or correct it. Okay, come to an end. This is the third one here. Sorry, the fourth one here. You make mistakes to learn, but someone will correct you. So the same thing, someone has to proofread the English America or wherever the movie. We don't want. Sometimes I tell my school, I'm just giving you some ideas. I'm in the language department here. I tell the science, speak the language department before you send any article, any article, innovation or anything. Can you please show it to me? That means outside your classroom. And I told her, hey, I'm not showing off. You learn better because it's very embarrassing
in the classroom.
when there's even one grammar mistake. And if somebody was to laugh, please get many people to proofread your article, and then you learn. Problem when I was trying to learn the first language, is the Malay language. I had a told them, and they said, "Oh yes, I appreciate it." And I said, "Yes, Kamla, you really appreciate what you're telling me, because it's true. Speak it. You see how important the language is. It is very, very international. And so you have to show off, but don't show off, meaning to enter I can do it, you show off your knowledge, you need a credit in Malay in a humble way. We always try to be humble. For a credit in Malay, how to be humble, we learn that. We try to learn
I started reading
from others.
and I finally
We make mistakes, we learn it. We get lost, I got into my college. Okay, right. And then, okay, so you see how important it is. WhatsApp to a friend and get him or her to correct it. I think I end by saying to be proud as an Indian.
What is it trying to tell you?
You are speaking the English language.
I am glad that he's.
People say you are Indian, you speak Tamil.
Like I mentioned just now,
when I go to
your
town,
website,
are you an Indian? Are you a Malayali?
Your
I
journals,
said, yes,
your
I'm an
blog,
Indian.
are all
But
in
the
English
rest,
to me,
sorry,
more
per
than
se,
50%
Malayali.
I'm
I'm an Indian.
webinar,
Oh, you speak English very good. So they
don't
think
worry.
they're Indian, they don't speak English.
Read it
To be proud as an Indian.
because otherwise you don't learn, and otherwise it's embarrassing for you or your company.
Yes, okay.
This is very,
It is
very,
that.
very.
Thank
It's
you.
a lot of this kind of things happening
begin
in Malaysia.
Questions,
To begin with,
I open this
with
time for
subtitles.
questions.
If you're
and
not,
answers.
sometimes if you're
print
really
it,
good, if you think you're good, you're okay. Don't say,
have the
oh, it must be the
subtitles.
teacher. They can change. The
it
TVs
must be the
nowadays,
teacher.
they'll ask whether
And
you
the
want
teacher
subtitles
gets
or
questions.
not.
It's very
So if you
embarrassing.
think you're not good, you're
So
weak.
always get someone to correct it for
Have
you.
the subtitles. If you're not
Audience,
weak,
ask any other questions
and
related
know
to the
how to
subject.
Word goal
and concentrate on the acting
and know how to use it in
Audience,
context.
actor,
please
One word.
actresses.
ask any other
One
question
day,
related in this
Okay, I
title.
give you an
What the
example.
plot is.
We all
is the
know the
ending?
bad
Okay,
and
ma'am,
the
you
good
have
in
to
the climax.
start.
What is the problem
So,
that's
You
happening?
can say,
Our,
I saw
Subtitles,
many
if
bears in
they
the
are-
zoo
if the
yesterday. That is the
subtitles are
bear.
there,
It's an
Mr. Prem.
animal.
you will be distracted by the words.
But do you know that
Given
the
a vote
bear
of
can
thanks.
also mean something else?
Okay,
Before
this one
vote
is
of
going to be very
thanks,
difficult
madam,
for you. The bear means you
Dr.
make
Madam
persevere to
Maureen,
learn.
I
Yeah,
welcome
I
you.
cannot bear to see the world in pain with
I asked you a
coronavirus.
small question. Wonderful to
It's
listen
not
to
good,
you
so you see
about
the
the
world in
importance
language
of
here.
English.
You make mistakes,
And
you learn
I
from
hope
it.
as
You
a
have to know
student,
this, you get someone to correct it for you.
is all
Okay, the
benefited
bear
the
animal.
way
In
you
other
convey
words,
the
in the
matter.
bear you get lost.
In
I saw many
industry,
bears in the
management
zoo
industry,
yesterday.
math
When I go to a
industry,
new place,
elsewhere,
I
they all
cannot bear
travel
to see the
international
world in
travel.
pain with
That
coronavirus. Don't
English
show
has
me.
been
I must get lost. I
tremendously
cannot.
needed.
Then
So
bear, I can see
they
you
have
crying.
really,
What happened?
they are fortunate to
Get to
hear
the cave.
you
So you see
in
the
a
difference.
nutshell.
I get lost.
In a
So you have a
nutshell.
world.
Finally, my
word,
question
word,
is
one day,
even I
one word.
also had to listen
But you must
nicely
know
from
how to
you
use it
in a
context.
concise way.
Okay.
And
This is
another
also very
thing that
interesting, yeah.
I just
And
in the
finally,
welcome
sing
session,
some
I
of
told
your
you
grammars.
what is your spiritual
This
ideology,
is
madam.
very,
You have
very
touched
important. This
spirituality
is where
through
people listen
poem
and sing.
songs.
Most of the people, they make
Can
the
you please
mistakes.
tell the spiritual ideology
When
that
they
you
print
touched?
spiritual, my spiritual ideology is I always believe that. Today I was telling you wisdom comes I am going to the market. You're talking about the future. Before we even impart any knowledge, I always but I'm going to the market moment to God and always ask God. But when you say I went to the market, if you don't ask, it doesn't come from your horse's mouth. If you don't ask, you don't get it. Right? I'm going to sing a song for you. So ask and it shall be received. You shall receive. So if you don't ask, you don't get it. So my idea of spirituality is so you see the difference here. Every moment in God's hands, and wisdom comes from God Almighty, future tense, and we always ask God to use us as instruments to impart that knowledge. Because education, this is education. We sing the wisdom is from above. In the market later. Merely mind the future. Not merely mind in the market. When you say I'm going to whenever I prepare something, when you not English prepare something, when you go in front, you can sing English. It already happened. Work on it. It may not go as planned. Right? Maybe God's plan. Because we already asked God to go to the market every day. Yeah? So that's how I look at it. Wisdom comes from God above, but please, it's not someone to help
Yeah,
me.
we put our effort when the blessings from the Almighty.
Yeah, the third one here. Sorry, the fourth one here. You make mistakes to learn, but someone will correct you. So the same thing, someone has to prove it. America, we don't want. Sometimes I tell my school, I'm just giving you some ideas. I'm in the language department. Yeah. I tell the science, speak the language department before we end. I like to say any article. I like to say thank you to innovation. Can you please bring things for sharing meetings? And Dr. I'm not showing off for you learn later because it's very embarrassing. Thank you for involving even one grammar mistake. I personally like to come back to academically, but we'll wait and see. God permits, June probably to learn the first language. Thank you. The Malay language.
How can I develop my
I
power
had
of
told them and
conversation?
they said, oh yes, I appreciate it.
Well,
Somehow you
so
really
as all
appreciate
good
your
things
talent.
come to an end in life, so is the webinar. On behalf of SCAD College of Engineering and Technology, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this webinar on English in the career of engineering, organized by a college. At the outset, I thank our resource person, Dr. Maureen Rogermani. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. I would like to thank our principal for his enthusiastic support. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much. A special thanks to the organizing committee from the Department of Science and Humanities, SCAD College of Engineering and Technology for their unflinching support and coordination. A heartfelt thanks to our students for the active participation. With these warm words and a kind message, we move to the end of today's webinar. Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
You speak English very good. So they think the Indian, they don't speak English. Read it to
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your wishing, ma'am. Thank you. Once again, we will meet you, ma'am. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Very, very thank you. A lot of this kind of things happening in English.
Thank you, madam.
To begin with, thank you. Open this mistakes for questions. Sometimes if you're really good, if you think you're good, you're okay. Don't say, oh, it must be the teacher. They can change. The TVs nowadays, they ask whether the teacher gets the blame or not. It's very embarrassing. So if you think you are not good, you're weak, always get someone to correct it for you. Subtitles. If you're not
Audience,
weak,
ask any other questions related in the subject.
word gold and concentrate on the acting and know how to use it.
Audience,
Actor,
please
one word.
ask any other
One
question
day,
related in this
Okay, I
topic.
give you an example. Plot is. We all know the
Okay, ma'am, you have to start. Participants just fill in the attendance form. You have to visit in your official mail ID. Mr. Brain, participants, please complete in your fill in the form for attendance. You have to receive in attendance certificate also.
Before
Participation certificate also receive in your respectable mail ID.
I cannot bear